Welcome back, man. Welcome back to the Morning Insider video and Nicardo Media House. Yeah, look, our first Morning Insider video interview, and I'm going to interview a very interested journalist that cover CONCACAF and also cover South American football. You understand? He also going to talk about the big game later. You understand? Nicaragua versus the reggaeboyz in Managua. Big game coming up, and guess what, we are going to talk about the rest of the teams in Central America and in CONCACAF as well, and what they think about the Reggae Boy team, what the journalists and the media think about the Reggae Boys team of getting heritage players, what they think about our federation. He's going to break down everything and what the outsiders think, the Spanish speaking countries think of us. Remember, a lot of you guys don't really know what is going on in those countries and what those countries looking at us and like, whoa, is that they're really doing. But he's going to tell us all what Mexico, Costa Rica, all these nations think of the Reggae Boys, and expectation for the Reggae Boys of make it to the next World Cup and also getting to the knockout round of the Nations League. Understand? He's going to talk it all, and also he's going to get into a little bit of Guatemala, our fixtures against Guatemala. Talk about Costa Rica, what is going on with Honduras, also Mexico. He break it down all of what's going on with the big concept in CONCACAF. So if you love football and you want to hear a lot more of what's going on in our region, listen to this interview, where I'm going to have a nice little chat with EDER, the expert, one of the experts, in the space that cover CONCACAF football, His channel is up there on the screen. So guess what? His channel, I think he told me he only, do videos in Spanish, but guess what? You can subtitle his videos, and you can actually watch the captions and read it in English. It's very important in the space. You have a lot of information as well, so listen to what I'm going to talk about with EDER. Very interesting topic. People, bless upon yourself. Don't forget to like, share, and comment and subscribe. Remember, this show, the Morning Insider show, is very vital to you guys. So, and this is the longest show that you guys going to get so far. I think it's around 50 minutes or something like that. You understand? So enjoy it, and don't forget to like, share, and comment if you really like the content. So you guys won't see these settings. You will see me on the screen with EDER after I cut out. Ciao people. Adios. Yes, so hello everyone, welcome back, welcome to the Nicardo Media House, I'm with the Morning Insider show. I'm here with first host on the Morning Insider show with EDER. EDER, how you doing?
Thank you for the invitation. We're doing good. Kind of tired, but when talking about football, we live for this. This is the passion that we always, are looking
Yeah.
forward. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, you much welcome. So this is my morning show, the Morning Insider. You is a special guest, the first ever guest on the Morning Insider, and
Thank you.
we're going to get into the game as it's match day. Later 8 p.m. local time, Nicaragua will play Jamaica in Managua, and how you looking forward to the game? Very excited. Big game in Managua later, as they say, Mastares.
Yes, look, the Nicaragua national team is basically growing a lot. Since I will say the past of couple, I will say 4 or 5 years, since Juan Vita, the Argentinian coach, now with the Fantasma Figueroa, with Jose Antonio Figueroa, the Chilean coach.
Yeah,
This national team, it's men business. They mean business. They've been nationalizing guys from the U.S., from South America. Their players, some of them are in Europe.
hmm
This is quite like a scouting program they have, and they got Byron Bonilla, a player which basically he retired for about a year. Now he
yeah,
comes back, and that player I would say is the biggest threat from Nicaragua. He can easily be one of the decisive factors in order for the Nicaragua national team to compete. I will say compete because honestly, to be quite frank, I think Jamaica it's a stronger opponent compared to
yeah.
Nicaragua.
Yeah. When I listening to your YouTube content, I always listen and I hear you say the Premier League players. Why is it that Central American media journalists always emphasizes on Jamaica Premier League players? Is it that because they play at a very high level than the rest of the players that played for the national team in Central America?
Yes, I will say there is only one team. I will say, well, two, Panama and Costa Rica. Costa Rica has some players also in England.
Yeah,
Some of them are in the championship, other ones in the Premier. But also Panama, most of them are playing outside the country. But let's be frank. The best football in the world is in England. You cannot
yeah,
compare like Brentford with Pinnock, Michael Antonio, Leon Bailey.
yeah.
Also, I mean, you have also in MLS the goalkeeper from Philadelphia Union, the guy from Corey Burke from the Red Bulls. You
Yeah.
got a lot of players. The guy who used to Barcelona was looking for. He played in Norwich. I would say is one of the guys in the.
Jonathan Rowe?
Yeah, exactly, Aaron. Dude, I mean, let's be honest. The best football is played there in England,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
hands down is the best one. Like you cannot compare that. You see the atmospheres in the stadium, the amount of players. Like it's basically a collection of the best players in the world. You gotta
yeah,
be in your national team in order to play in England. Like unless you come from the reserves or something like that. But is the best player. Like, that's the best players in the world, the best teams in the world. uh, you can see like the Real Madrid always competing and getting the Champions League,
yeah,
but there is no competition in the national level unless I mean you go to England. There is Arsenal, there is Tottenham, there is Leicester. Sometimes it is Brighton. Sometimes it is um, another team like Arsenal, City. I mean,
yeah.
come on, it's you cannot compare the England to another
Yeah.
country in the world.
Yeah. One thing I want to dissect in, as it's match day, Marco Antonio Figueroa, as they call him, the ghost, is El Fantastama. That's his name, the Phantom.
Marco Antonio Figueroa, the coach, is Fantasma. Yes, it's the
Yeah.
nickname the coach, like the
Um,
Phantom.
he did a press conference yesterday and he was talking about how, he said, look, Jamaica is the toughest team we have ever faced in official games. For the last 2 years, he have also unbeaten in Nicaragua, Estadio Nacional. It's a big game. I listening to local medias in Nicaragua, the North and South stands are already sold out. Again, how big is this game will be later in Managua?
Honestly, if you look as a person that's outside, I'm from Mexico, but I also cover the Nicaragua national team.
Uh,
I cover many also. I would say national teams:
yeah,
Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Panama. But this game, it's kind of surprising. But if you ask everybody in Nicaragua, they're confident they can get the 3 points, and
yeah,
that's good because their national team, I will say, it has never been like this. They've been playing, I will say, very tactical, very precise. It's not like a team that will suffocate you, attack you,
yeah, yeah.
but it's very effective. They just play effective football, which is it's tough to do. Like the coach has a strong connection with the players. And
Mhm.
yes, let's be honest, official because Nicaragua have been playing some of the friendlies versus Peru. They
Yeah.
have gone to Asia, to Europe, South America,
Mhm.
but it's again it's a friendly. But this
Yeah.
one, it's like
Competitive.
it's official.
Trying to get into the
And
Gold Cup.
exactly, and the rival is Jamaica. I
Yeah.
mean, you can go. I think today nowadays I think everybody will say the best team in CONCACAF is Canada. The thing that
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do with the Copa
No doubt
America,
about it. What they have done in the Copa America, it's remarkable. Just a
amazing.
month
It's
in.
just
Yeah.
unbelievable. Alfonso
Yeah.
Davis, Buchanan. Well, it's Lara. It's an amazing team. They will say probably the US because
Yeah.
they won the CONCACAF Nations League. Their players that they got, they've been also very constant, very into the. They went to the Olympics, so they got a good squad. Then it's Mexico. I will say Mexico is still probably over there. Some people say the number one. Well, you can debate. Then I will say Panama because Panama also they got a wonderful Copa America. Like nobody even predicted that. Then I will say it's either Jamaica or Costa Rica over there. But honestly, if you ask me, I think it's Jamaica. because
Yeah.
of, as I said, the players that you got. I mean, yes, there is. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. There are some issues in the federation, but beyond that, you got amazing players. I mean, all the players that you got in either in MLS or in Europe, they are top talents. They are not like just easy players over there, all scattered. No, they are very very powerful players. So that's why for Nicaragua, it's a huge event in their pursuit of the Copa Oro, and
Yeah.
also for the World Cup. Because let's be honest, if they don't go to the Gold Cup,
When you
it's okay.
said when you said Copa Ora, for the viewers watching, it's Gold Cup. You said
Gold
Copa
Cup.
Ora. Yeah.
Gold Cup, yes,
Yeah.
the Gold Cup. I mean, if they don't qualify to the Gold Cup, then well, I mean, it's okay. But for them, the World Cup it's the main event. So again, it's a preparation for this upcoming tournaments and matches that is gonna be quite historic for Nicaragua.
Yeah, so what is the chance, you guys will that cover CONCACAF, Central American teams giving Nicaragua to get out of this one, Jamaica, they will play later, and then their next game they will play, French Guiana. They know that Honduras more likely will get the 3 points against French Guiana, but they will travel to Kingston also in a few days. They know that if they can get their business done, it still will be in their hands, and especially Nicaragua missed out on the last two World Cup. It's very important. The last World Cup, they're supposed to be in Jamaica zone, but they get disqualified, using ineligible players. And the one for 2021, they didn't qualify. But what's the chance? Both teams locked on 4 points. It's going to go neck and neck right down to the last game. Especially that game in Kingston is going to be very important. Important, my friend. So what is the chance, around this group, with Nicaragua?
Well, you said something in the beginning in your statement. I honestly don't believe that Honduras has an easy go, an easy game, an easy go with Guyana.
Yeah,
I think they can lose. Let's be
yeah,
honest. The match that you guys had with Honduras over there in Central America, it was surprising the way you guys came back.
yeah.
McLaren, the coach, you guys were, that's what many times I don't quite get why people will say that Jamaica it's is basically crumbling down, is everything's going to waste. But most of the players play in England, so they're very used to very negative
Hostile.
atmospheres against them,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and that's for them is like another day in the office. So what you guys show over there, it's not easy to play in Honduras. Like
yeah,
historically, it's one of
yeah,
the, I would say, most hostile places in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all America, in the whole continent. Let's be honest. And but you guys did it. So I will say that Honduras has chances, Nicaragua has chances, Jamaica has chances. I mean, that's over there in the picture. But I think Jamaica is the one that controls most its destiny because you guys close in Kingston. You
mm,
guys were able to defeat Honduras, so I will say you have big chances to defeat Nicaragua. I'm just being quite frank to you.
yeah,
I think the two that really control their destiny is Nicaragua because they had two matches in their home, and you guys because you close at home. So I will say it depends. It's up to either Nicaragua and Jamaica. I think those two. I mean, Cuba also is there because
yeah,
mathematically speaking, some of them are going to
yeah,
lose points.
yeah,
So if they
yeah,
win two games, they might even get there. Cuba,
yeah,
watch
yeah.
out. But it's a pretty close match. Pretty close race. So I will say.
Yeah, historically, you said, look, French Guiana is going to be a tough game. Listening to the Honduran analyst speaking, it's going to be a very tough game, especially what happened 9 years ago. This team, French Guiana, have knocked out Honduras of a preliminary round of the Gold Cup, and again, Honduras is yet to beat Jamaica in around 5 games, so it's going to be tough on both sides in the upcoming fixtures. But I mean, Nicaragua, what I must say about this team, what Figueroa have been doing, he have been doing a remarkable job. I heard him speak after the release of the 24, he named a 24-man squad, and he said, look, we basically at this moment in a little bit of some trouble. We're trying to get heritage players from, Spain, Colombia, Mexico, Costa Rica, what how many heritage players that didn't born in Nicaragua is currently in the squad?
There are quite a lot. It's Jacob Montes, Belly. Um, there's a guys also that play. Some of most of, like I would say, four or five of them are from Costa Rica. We're born
Mhm.
in Costa Rica, but from
Yeah.
uh,
So they have around three players that's play locally in Costa Rica in in the squad.
I would say three or some that some around
So
that.
all of them born in Costa Rica.
Yeah, some of them are born in Costa Rica, and also I would say Chamorro, Contreras, another I think Suarez. There are like four or five players
Yeah.
that are from like Nicaraguan descent that play for the Costa Rica national team right now.
Uh, uh,
Like four or five. And
yeah, but
Duarte, Oscar Duarte.
but
He's from.
Figueroa is saying that players do not want to come. It's a struggle for him to get players to come and play for Nicaragua. What is that borderline is stopping those players from bridging the gap for playing for the La Azul La Blanco.
That's a good question. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good analysis. I would say that, let's be honest. Before, I would say 10 years ago,
Yeah,
you never imagined that Nicaragua will be in the conversation of going up, because
yeah,
they have defeated El Salvador in Managua.
yeah,
They've been defeating all the islands, and it's not easy to play in CONCACAF. Some people say, "Ah, no, CONCACAF, no." Go to Guyana, go to Curacao, go to Jamaica, to Kingston. Mexico doesn't win there all very often. Even the US was out of the World Cup in Trinidad and Tobago, 2018. It's not
yeah,
easy to play there. Like, it's not
yeah,
easy. Somehow Nicaragua, they been managing. They've been winning against all
yeah.
islands, and it's
Yes,
very,
yes.
very, very, very tough.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
easy, my friend. It's not
yeah,
easy because you don't have not. I have the opportunity to interview Hugo Perez, Gerson Perez, the coach for the national for El Salvador national team, and they told us it's very difficult to play these against these opponents because we don't have no data, we have no no video, we have no stats, because some of the games you gotta be there to watch them, and once we're facing them either for the World Cup, the Gold Cup, it's it's like a basically not throwing something in the air. Like you don't know the outcome. That's
yeah,
why El Salvador was eliminated from the Gold Cup. That's
yeah,
why some countries don't defeat other islands in the Gold Cup, or in the Gold Cup, or in the World Cup. So, or in Nations League. Trinidad and Tobago was having a good run to go to the Copa America. Also
yeah,
Jamaica, you guys. So I mean, it's very difficult. And Nicaragua, somehow they've been growing a lot. Like before, they were just a mess. Let's be honest, they were a mess.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
say 10 years ago. But as I told you, I think from 5 years to now, they've been investing a lot.
yeah,
Stadiums,
yeah,
they're building like
yeah,
four or five
yeah,
stadiums,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I mean, that the infrastructure
Yeah, the
is not easy
infrastructure
to get.
is building in Nicaragua at this moment. I saw it. I saw the news.
And also the clubs, Real Estelí, Diriangen, the amount of professionalism, the amount those clubs been growing. I mean, not it's not in Central America. There are like four or five teams that are the best. I would say, it's Saprissa,
Yeah,
Olimpia, Herediano, also Alajuelense.
yeah,
But in Nicaragua, the way they're professionalizing, the way they're growing, the emphasis on big data, on marketing, on having the best the best doctors, the best coaches. They've been sending their coaches to Europe. They're also building up in the lower level, the lower, like, under 15, under 12, under 10. It's amazing. Like,
yeah,
the amount of growth this nation has been having, as I told you, since, I would say, 10 years, 5 years. You can, like, there's no. This is basically the result of a lot of emphasis. The government, some of them is also private infrastructure. They're growing a lot, so that's why, Real Estelí went to the Conca Champions. They defeated Club America, which is the best team in the world for
yeah,
me, my team.
yeah,
And they
yeah,
went to the final in the CONCACAF League, the Central Cup, Central American
yeah,
Cup.
yeah,
Watch out. I mean, Nicaragua, I think Nicaragua and Panama are two of the countries that have been growing a lot. So this is no surprise. If you look very deep, if you look into the growth of Nicaragua, you will find it like to be normal, that they are going up.
yeah, yeah. Really good. Yeah, I saw the growth. I saw the investment that they're doing. in the local league. You know, I that game that you touched on the Real Esteli and Club America when that game played in Managua. Is it was in Managua, right?
No, it's the league.
Instantly,
It's the
that
Independencia,
game.
yeah.
I watched that game, on TV here, and it was a very exciting game. But I mean, talking about Real still, we have to mention, Byron Bonilla, the man that almost unforgettable man. After 1 year, he's back in the selections again. How important, this player going to be in this game against reggaeboyz, if especially if Nicaragua to get something from this game.
He's the X factor. I will say that he is the most important player. If Israel Esteli has been growing, if they defeated America, and it's because of him. And look, if you analyze the Nicaragua national team since he left, I would say the weakest link or the weakest part of the team is the definition and being able to score goals.
Yeah,
Why? Because you got a player like Byron Bonilla that's not there. That, like, yeah, you can have a forward, you can have wings, but you gotta get definition. You need a player that has the ball and is like, guys, let's go. But not like yelling or screaming, but in the field, being
yeah.
able to go
But
one
how
on
good
one.
is he? How good is he?
He's amazing. Like you gotta watch him. He has made 2 3 goals from the like free kicks.
Yeah,
Out of this world, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This player is really good. He basically developed in Costa Rica.
yeah.
That's where he basically was got his football. But
Mm.
now he's like 31 years old, and I think is the maturest player in Nicaragua, and I think he's the best player in Nicaragua. He's 31, so Nicaragua has to take advantage of that, of the momentum. Like football is about moments, and he right now it's in a spectacular level. I would say you got to watch out with him. But you got Pinnock. I mean, you have also a good defender,
Yeah,
Brentford, but that player again, if he was able to basically um, destroy Club America, and which is like the 2 times champions, back to back champions in Mexico, the biggest club in Mexico, campeón de campeones in Mexico, and he was able to defeat them. And now also Saprissa, against Saprissa twice. I mean, Saprissa, the biggest club in Central America, he
yeah,
made some golazos, bro. And still, he's the most fundamental. He's the biggest threat to Jamaica right now.
yeah. Talking about Saprissa, do you know Javan East, the reggae boy that playing for Saprissa?
East, yes,
Yes.
he's not called, right? What he's not
No,
called?
it's difficult for Javanese to get into this team, and he's
Oh
playing
yeah,
very good. Last season, I think he got around 20 goals, in Costa Rica for
yeah.
Saprissa. He
Mhm.
started out the season, really well. I don't know. I think this is his third spell, his third team in Costa Rica now. He used to play for Gualapi Santos. So he's a very good player. We used to go to the same high school, into the same farm, same class, in Jamaica. We play high school football together, so I know him very well, but
He's your
he,
friend.
yeah, he's a very good friend of me.
Do you keep in touch with him?
Sometimes, he's a busy man. He's a
As
busy
a
man.
busy man.
Yeah, he's a
I
he's a
mean,
busy man.
but Curry Burki, the guy from Red
Cool,
Bulls,
bro.
he's there.
No, 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 Corey Bird. So after the game against the US in the Nations League I think it was in AT&T Stadium, the semi-final when he scored that own goal on the US. You know, he kind of fell out of love, with a lot of the supporters. As you support New York Red Bull, he's been in and
Yes,
out of the team, injured. He's struggling to be fit. So Corey Birkin, I don't know what is going on with him, but he's not in the squad at this moment. I think, look, it's going to be tough for a lot of attacking players like Corey Birkin and Javan Ease, to get into this team, especially when you look, Michael Antonio, Shaman Nichols, who playing in Russia for
hmm,
Spartak Moscow,
let's go.
potentially, Mason Greenwood going to be anytime now in the setup with the selections, so, and, Leon Bailey, Demari Gray, you have all these players, and, Norman Campbell play in the first division of Danish football, playing really good, excited young talent. Kaim Dixon just got transferred from the Jamaican Premier League into Charlton Athletic in the League One.
Mhm.
So we have very excited young players that's coming through. So it's going to be tough on a lot of those players to get in this 23 squad whenever there is national duties. But they just have to still fight. they have to just still wait for a call. You just never know what can happen. But yeah, it's a tough one. This Jamaica team is very tough to select at times whenever, especially players are fit and players are fully healthy. But
Yeah,
talking about, I have to talk about the midfielder. These two midfielders, Matias and Coronel, very good. I saw them in the Peru game as well. Very good central midfielder. How much you know of these two players? One of them, I think, played in Belgium Pro League in the second tier. I think,
Jacob Montes.
Matias, yeah, Matias,
Yeah, Jacob Montes. He used to play in Botafogo. He used to play in Botafogo.
yeah, yeah. How good
And
are these two central midfielders, to this team? How
Bailey, but
important they are?
those guys kind of most offensive, like kind of a false nine. They're also like the strikers. They're very fundamental in the national team. They're very very important. One of the pillars of the teams.
Yeah,
Vance Hernandez also. Acevedo. You
Barrera,
see, yeah, Barrera. You see, this team is more like a unit. Fantasma Figueroa, he basically got most of his careers he spent in Mexico. He was in
yeah,
Monarcas.
yeah, yeah,
He also became kind of a coach in Mexico. If you see, I'm also in Chile, but if you see the way he puts his team into the pitch, it's mostly like a la volpista, la volpe, or like the Mexican style.
yeah.
Like you get the ball, pass it. Maintain your lines. Tactically, it's very very like all tight. So he has a style, a way of playing. He doesn't change that much. In this way, it's not about one or two players, but it's more like a squad.
Collective.
If you put Byron Bonilla, it's a different story because then he he has the squad, but he's gonna be the main focus. As I told you, if I would say 2 months ago or one a month ago, the last match of the Nations League, they didn't got Bonilla, and you could see they were struggling to make goals, struggling to go to the attack,
You said
and
Jamie
everybody.
Marino.
What happened?
You said Marino, the striker, Jamie.
No, Bonilla,
Or,
Byron
Bon,
Bonilla,
or Barry Bonilla.
Byron Bonilla. So they didn't got him, so they were struggling a lot, and everybody in Nicaragua was like, we need him. Yeah, we have no Jacob Montes, we have Bailey, we have other players, but they're not. I would say they had that drive or that talent to go 1-on-1 to go into the wing as a
Yeah,
wing, go find the attack. But right now he's there, and I didn't consider they got huge chances to defeat Jamaica or at least tight. But right now, yeah, it's a different story now. It's more of a balanced team right now.
yeah. Talking about, I want to talk something very important about Honduras, but I have one more point around Nicaragua.
Okay.
Nicaragua is in the Copa Mundial, the World Cup qualifier with Panama. 6 points, two from two. They beat two Caribbean teams. I think it's Belize and Montserrat. Very good. What is a chance for this team to get over the line for a World Cup?
It's difficult, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Panama is probably the best national team in Central
Their
America, and
last
it's not
game,
easy.
their last game in the World Cup qualifier is Panama, but they will play Guyana first, then Panama close up the World Cup qualifier, and until they move to the next phase.
It's gonna. Let's be honest. I mean, Panama is here, Nicaragua is here. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they've been growing, but nothing compared to Panama. They were the playing. I don't know if you knew or you know about it, but their video analysts from Panama, it was very like the Copa America they got was so huge that Barcelona asked him to come to Barcelona because he
yeah,
he used to be in Barcelona with the Valverde and
uh-huh.
with the Koeman, but he left
Okay.
to when the pandemic happened. He then Thomas Christensen took the Panamanian national team for 4 years. He was with Thomas Christensen, but Hansi Flick and Barcelona told him to come back to Barcelona because they were amazed by the way Panama has been growing. So imagine Barcelona is looking to Panama, to the Panamanian national
Yeah,
team,
yeah,
and that team is like they're sending players to Ukraine, to the championship, to Norwich with the Coto Cordova.
yeah.
That team is you gotta watch out with Panama. So I would say Panama. It's I wish I could say a different story, but Panama is I would say 10 times better than Nicaragua right now.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's that the next sets of games will be next year. So hopefully, Nicaragua can actually beat Guyana and finish in the top two position to get into the
Mhm.
final phase of the World
They
Cup
can do it. They
qualifier.
can do it. But Panama is
Yeah,
definitely number one.
yeah, yeah. But there's a lot of issues, with the Colombian Ronaldo Ruida, with the H. No, Luis Palma, Kyoto is still outside looking in. Ellis is still recovering from that bad injury that he picked up around a year ago. What is going on with Luis Palma, with Celtic, Brandon Rogers, and Kyoto is still looking over the fence, trying to get back into this team after disappear. From the game, they beat you guys in San Pedro Sula. He went off to party with his girlfriend. All the issues with Ronaldo and Kyoto. What is the problem with those two players, Kyoto and Luis Palma, for the selection this time around?
I would say, look, Honduras historically is one of the best, if not the best, nation for the talent. They got, remember when they got Palacios, when they got Minor Figueroa. They used to have players in the Premiership, and they were like amazing players. Even Luka Modric said, "Look, my game is about Wilson Palacios. He's like one of the best players I ever played with." But somehow, right now, the new generations, I would say after 2014 is when they've been going down. They were close to go to the World Cup 2018 with Pinto, and that's where all the problems started. Somehow, I would say the national press has a lot to do with the decline because they're very nationalistic and they don't expose the truth. They're more like ultras, hooligans that are able to grade journalism because they never say the truth. For example, they blame Barton, the referee, the Salvadorian referee that was in the match of Mexico versus Honduras. They never look at the in depth of what's happening. I will say players nowadays, the money is there. Like right now, soccer players are millionaires. They're not. They're able to buy clubs. They're able to buy, a lot of franchises. They're businessmen right now. So in Honduras, you gotta realize that's a very poor country. Like poverty, it's everywhere. So once these players get the big contract, they get the famous. Then fame gets into their heads, and they don't know what to do with the fame.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
also, I would say uh, Palma, he even said it. When I was in Greece, I didn't have nothing to eat, or sometimes I was struggling to even survive. So the drive of getting there, I need to win matches, to score
yeah,
goals, because I'm basically starving. Once he got to Celtic, the first season, it was okay, but everything changed. Money is there, and he even said that now I don't. Well, now he struggles. Also, he made some political comments in Twitter, and I would say that also impacted. I'm not really sure if that impacted, but he got into politics with Venezuela and stuff like that. And I think, in England and in the UK, that stuff also is important. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a huge club like Celtic, Villa, the biggest clubs in the world. That's what I'll also say a lot of praise to the football in England. But those teams, they look to that stuff. They look how you handle yourself, how you. It's not in the pitch, but also outside the pitch where you gotta be professional. And I think he hasn't been that professional, to be quite honest. And he's the biggest player. The same goes to most of the players in the team. The one player that I really like, and I will say is a deficient factor. It's Kervin Arriaga, the guy he's in
Ariana, yeah,
Arriaga. He thinks in
Partisan.
the Partizan Serbian football. You gotta watch out with him. Also,
Yes,
Josep
yes.
Rosales, he's very good. Like since he was in Minnesota United,
I
but
think
that
I
dude,
think I think Rosales, from Minnesota, the left back, he can also play in the midfield. I think he's very good.
very good. Yeah.
He's such a beautiful player. Anthony Choco Lozano, what happened? Santos Laguna, you know.
Now Santos Laguna is one of the worst clubs in Mexico. Lozano, I don't know, man. He's just not that. For me, I don't. I see him as a. He makes one goal in one match and then he disappears another 15 matches. For me, he's not I would say a huge player. For me, he's not. I think Rigo Rivas is a good player. I will always look after his game. Rigo Rivas, he used to be Inter Milan. I think that's in Turkey. Edwin Rodriguez is also a good player. Pinto comes back, the guy
Yeah.
from Olympia. You gotta watch out with that player. I think David Ruiz is injured, if I'm not mistaken. So
Nahari back in the team as well.
to be quite honest, I think you guys have it. You
Yeah.
gotta win, man. Honestly, I
Yeah.
don't see Honduras pulling it in. They say it's the coach's fault, but look, they've been having like two, three coaches, four coaches in the past 4 years. They
Yeah.
got Coito, they got Bolillo Gomez, they got Diego Vasquez. Now they got again Rueda. Four coaches in 4 years. I mean, it's not the coach; it's their mentality of the players.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, also I think the weakest part of their squad is the defense. Also, didn't qualify in under 20. They were defeated by Cuba. A lot of
Yes.
countries, Cuba, and these
Cuba.
players in Honduras. When they're developing players since the U17, U20, under 23, they're we compare with Mexico, they're the best countries that develop players in all CONCACAF, and those even more than the US because they've been going to the Olympics, Honduras. But somehow that those processes stopped after the Tokyo Olympics. They've been struggling to even produce players, so they're in a huge crisis. Honduras is in a huge crisis. As I told you, I think the press, believe it or not, but they have a lot of responsibility here because they don't inform what's going on. If you remember in the FIFA gate, Howitt, one of the presidents in the FIFA gate, they were one of the most corrupt federations, not only in CONCACAF, in the whole world, also with Costa Rica, with Lee. So that they've been struggling. They've been
Yeah.
struggling since
Yeah.
that, and I don't see them able to pull it up. I don't think so. Honestly, if you ask me, I don't think so. I think Jamaica probably will win against Nicaragua, and you guys will win against Honduras. If you ask me.
Yeah, yeah, so that's it, everyone, with Honduras, but I have to touch on your national, Mexico. What is going on? What is going on, with Mexico? No, we have seen, former player and Javier is Aguirre is in the seat, the hot seat. That's how the Jamaicans call the Mexican job, the hot seat in CONCACAF. If you fail, you gone. And it was just a moment before Jamie Lozano, get the fire, but Javier Aguirre is in Rafael Marquez. What is it now with the Mexican national team?
I would say it's a team that's already rotten in the inside. I don't see them going nowhere. I don't get excited anymore. I think that's the last game I got really excited was in 2018 versus Germany. That's the
Mhm.
that's the only game that I would say I enjoyed. Also again versus Germany in here that I think it was a friendly that we play here in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
That's the other match that really got excited. But other than that, I don't. That team is rotten. I mean, it doesn't matter if you bring Klopp, Guardiola, the Televisa, the guys that are in the top that own America. The you
yeah,
know the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
the company that has the rights and the broadcasting giant in Mexico. They're the main guilties of this crisis. They basically own the federation. They run the federation. They run the Mexican national team. They bring again Guardado. They bring Ochoa. I mean, it's just disgusting. People are tired. We see the bullshit from far away, and I don't see that the Mexico national team is going to do anything. My prediction is that we're gonna do a Brazil 2014. That everybody's and then probably I don't know France, Germany, or Belgium comes and they make us like 10-0, 10-1. That's gonna happen.
yeah. Yeah, the last one, I have to talk about Los Ticos, Costa Rica. What's going on, after seeing such a very young team came to the Copa America, very good players, but after the Copa America, Paraguay in crisis, they took their manager, Gustavo Alfaro, big, big miss for Costa Rica. What is that chance, with Costa Rica getting to the next World Cup? And no,
They would.
their boss is just only Joel Campbell is the only legendary player is in the squad at this moment.
Look, what Alfaro did was impressive. Gustavo Alfaro, he has a lot of experience in South America. Boca
Mhm.
Juniors, Ecuador. Now he's in Paraguay, and he defeated Brazil. He's
Mhm.
a very good coach. But look, I don't know if you know or you were able to see Claudio Vivas, the guy that got in charge. He used to work with Scaloni. He was the one responsible of discovering Messi, Claudio Vivas, and even Scaloni said that they played Costa Rica played against Argentina in I think the beginning of March, and in one interview, Scaloni says, as long as this guy is here in Costa Rica, you guys are gonna be fine. He was the one responsible of bringing Alfaro to Costa Rica. Now
Yeah.
he's in charge, so there's a continuation of the process. It's impressive, and the Ticos they've been losing against Panama 5-0 or something. Yeah, they've been struggling, but the generation that the process they're doing now is amazing. Like
Yeah.
they're a player that Joshimar Alcocer, Andy Rojas, uh, Jason
Ugaldi.
Benin, Anthony Contreras. They got Patrick
Mm.
Sequeira, Chamorro.
Yeah.
What you gotta watch out. That team.
And I think that no, I think Ugaldi is a very good player. Play for Spartak Moscow.
He's a good player, but you gotta watch Andy Rojas and also Joshimar Alcocer. I was able to see them. Well, Joshimar Alcocer, I saw him here live 2 times.
Uh-huh.
A player that without the ball is like I would say 2 times better than Campbell. You gotta watch out with that player. I
Yeah.
saw him live,
Yeah.
and dude, I'm surprised. Andy Rojas too. He played the under 20 versus Mexico, and you can see he has the ability to go 1-on-1. It's like a wing, like a one of the players that's very explosive. So
Yeah.
Costa Rica will go because why? As I told you, I think Claudio Vivas, the guy he's in charge of the whole national team, like the executive of the whole from the order 15. So he
Yeah.
basically manages everything. He's been managing those players. They might not go to the World Cup. They lose in the under 15, 17, under 20. They're basically
Yeah.
non-existent. But when it comes to their league, in the Concacaf Champions, in the Central America, they develop the players.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the national team, those their mindset changes. Well, I would say the Ticos are in the World Cup. They're in the
Yeah.
World Cup.
Yeah. Thanks my friend EDER, to come on the morning inside our show on the Nicardo Media House. Really appreciate it. Keep in touch. You is the expert, man. I have always watched your video. You're the expert of CONCACAF.
Oh, thank you. We want to talk about Guatemala. We didn't talk about Guatemala. You guys are
Oh,
what Jamaica's playing versus
yeah,
Guatemala
yeah, yes,
in a
yes,
couple of
yes,
months. Tell me what you think about
yes.
Guatemala. How you see the Guatemala national team?
Is it the Mexican coach in Guatemala?
Luis Fernando Tena, yes.
Luis Peñas, he's the coach, I think, interim coach for the Mexico team,
Hmm.
the Olympic
America
team.
Cruz Azul, yeah.
Whereas also, I think, Guatemala, we beat them, in the Copa Oro last year in Cincinnati. Very good team, but I think the quality of where the Reggae Boys, is getting their players from, it's just going to overwhelm a lot of these nations in Central America, until we can find that perfect system, which I think Steve McLaren is doing. We drew, 0-0 at home in Kingston against Cuba, and we beat in Honduras, but when you look at how the team have been playing over the last two games compared to what happened with the Icelandic Emir Grimson, it's a far, far different team. Now players are comparing that. Look, this is the perfect system. This is the perfect way. And Casey Palmer, the player that played for All City, is coming out and said, look, this is the best time of him over the last year and a half since playing for the national team under Steve McCarron, and it's just two games. So players are comfortable now playing in the national team. I think that they find that system, they find that rhythm that can merge the players together, and just give him time, and then next year until we face Guatemala, I think we should be a better team, and we should go to there's no way, yeah. The hype around the Reggae Boys locally and in the diaspora, it's second to none. We expect to go to the World Cup. We already put ourselves into the spot for 2026 in Canada, Mexico, and the US. So it's just the players and the coach, and also important the federation, the administration to get things right with the players.
Mason Greenwood, is he when he's gonna be ready to play with you with Jamaica?
So currently, his process is currently at the passport, office in Jamaica. After that, the next process will be his clearance with FIFA, but
Okay.
FIFA hasn't yet received his documents. But Mason Holgate, everything is clear. They're just waiting for that document for him to play in the game later today, against Nicaragua or Honduras. But what I have heard, he will be ready for the game in Kingston coming up next week against Honduras. But Mason Greenwood is still a process. Quite a few more players. Isaac Aiden. Newcastle. Yes, things are not close, but the process of getting those players submit their documents, it's underway. But the next one, the big news should be Mason Holgate for the second game against Honduras, and then after that, hopefully before the year finish or before the knockout section of the Nations League, Mason Greenwood will announce his nationalities with the Reggae Boys.
So basically, we will versus Guatemala. He will be ready.
Yes, he should be ready for the next World Cup.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. So
big.
you see, you're basically adding more players. It's crazy, man. Like,
what is
man.
what is what is the word in Central America about Jamaica getting these heritage players?
First of all, they're basically happy that there you have guys that you have crisis in your federation. They're like, oh wait, that's good for us. As long as those dudes have issues and they don't know what to do, and he's talking like they give him woman clothes to Michael Antonio and to Lea Bailey, like you give me woman clothes, and so they're happy. I mean, I understand that if Jamaica is struggling, everybody's happy because you guys are very powerful. And if you are in crisis, so that means the door is open to other countries, to take the lead. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, but yeah, in Central America, you guys are very like now. I would say the squad that you are guys managing, that you're getting together, you're pulling basically, as you said, a lot of players from other like in England, to
Mhm.
convince them to play with you guys. It's an amazing program. I would say. And also look, that's why Nicaragua Fantasma Figueroa is very impressed. Like man, like we love to play against these national teams because the amount of level, the football that you put in the pitch is nothing.
Yeah,
It's like it's the best in CONCACAF, bro. You guys are one of the best in CONCACAF. Like you gotta be. Also, if you look the La Paz Copa America, we do also in my channel. We do content from South America. We do Colombia. We talk about Peru,
yeah.
and you guys are well looked. Like you also been in Copa America sometimes before, also in the past. So you're
Exactly.
quite well received in the South, in South America, and also in Concacaf. But I mean, you guys gotta take care of the crisis in your federation because if you guys are
Yeah,
able to resolve that, then I would say you are one of the best. I would say most positioned countries to go into the World Cup.
yeah. So one country that we didn't talk about, but I want to ask you this: which one of the which country is that in Concacaf that you will see? Okay, this team is a very underdog team. Not the Guatemala, not the Honduras, but do you see Dominican Republic with Marcelo Navarro, the Argentinian, as a team that should be looking out for?
I would say Suriname. I know you were able to watch their or to
Suriname.
see Suriname, their squad. They got guys from Serbia, Slovakia, Russia, Ukraine, England. I'm like, oh my god! Well, Netherlands. And Mexico also played. I think it was 2 years ago, 1 year ago. They play. We play Mexico play Suriname, and it was we tied again. I think we tied where we almost were losing at some point. Suriname, you gotta watch out with those dudes. That team, it's getting crazy there. Also,
Yeah,
the guy from America, what's the name? Jabron, the guy from Feyenoord. He's gonna
yeah,
play for Suriname now.
yeah,
Imagine that.
yeah,
Dal Rosun, Jevon Dal Rosun. He's in Feyenoord. He's in America now. He says he's gonna play for Suriname.
yeah,
That's a good player. A guy from Feyenoord now going to Suriname.
yeah,
You gotta watch out with. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If the World Cup today, used to like right now, the World Cup is playing the qualifiers. I will say it's gonna be Panama, Costa Rica for sure. Those two are in the World Cup, and I think the third will be probably Jamaica or Suriname. and then it's like another one to go in the playoff.
Playoffs, the
I would
playoffs,
say that will be either probably Guatemala or
Honduras.
Honduras.
Mm. So
Yeah.
Dominican Republic, you don't see any movement from them, seeing them at teams coming a team that's coming from naturally a baseball nation, hosting the under 17 Women World Cup currently now, you know. Marcelo Nevel, the Argentinian coach, you have been doing a wonderful job. I think that team in CONCACAF at this moment, I know
Dominican Republic.
yeah, Dominican Republic. I
Well,
think
but
I think
do
Suriname is a
you
very good team. We are acknowledged. The Jamaican people have acknowledged that the Surinamese is a very good team. They get in players from the Dutch descent, but players playing in the Europe top five league, it's crazy. It's just frightening.
no, but I see that's the thing. Suriname, they play versus Mexico. They play versus the countries, Panama. They've been playing versus the countries that
Yeah,
usually are always there, kind of having like a, I would say, very stable level. But I don't see Dominican Republic playing good versus Mexico, versus the U.S., versus Canada. So I don't see them as a biggest threat right now. I don't honestly. I don't see. I see Suriname
yeah,
because they're being
yeah, yeah.
they're doing also a scouting
Stop it.
program that's very aggressive. They're also searching for players in England, in Serbia. I mean, those Scandinavian countries are like, what the hell is going on? Belgium and Netherlands. So you gotta watch out with Suriname.
Yeah,
I think Suriname can be one of the surprises.
yeah. The last, but I know I said the last, but the last I have to leave this one. In the South America. Fernando Boca Baptista, such a very good job in Copa America with Venezuela. Can Venezuela get into a World Cup this time
Yes.
around?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, there are some nations that are struggling right now in South America. Chile, I think, is out. Peru is out.
Peru, yeah.
Bolivia can even get in. Alfaro with Paraguay is gonna be
But
a team to
Bolivia,
watch.
impressive start. Impressive start from Bolivia.
Last year also, I mean, last qualifier with the what's the name of that dude, the Venezuelan dude, what's it? Farias, yeah, Farias. With Farias, they were also at some point they were into the World Cup with Farias, Venezuela. So they've been having a good qualification. But I would say I think Venezuela can go.
Yeah,
I've been watching the team live. I watch him versus. Uh, I watch him versus. They play versus Guatemala, and they play versus, I think I don't remember the other one, but I watch them live 2 times because I've been watching a lot of football live. But they're very strong,
yeah,
very strong.
yeah.
This guy's Salomon Rondon is crazy right now in Mexico. He's playing one
Soteldo,
of the best football. They have Soteldo, they have
Correa.
Herrera, and they have. I mean that they can go to the World Cup. Of course, I
This
mean
this
they go.
player from Real Sociedad from the Basque era. His name is B. I don't
Aramburu.
Bamaroon. Very good. I see him playing for a top team in the La Liga next season. Very good.
Aramburu is amazing. That's what I'm saying. I think Venezuela can go to the World Cup, of course. I think they will go.
Yeah, yeah. That's it, my friend. The expert of CONCACAF and the South.
I
you
love
know,
football. I mean,
yeah,
I love
yeah. I
speaking
love,
about football. I can do it for
I
I
love,
can do it
I love
forever.
football. I love football. But yeah, thanks for coming in through. On the Nicardo Media
Thank you.
House platform. Hope to see you again. Hope to have you again on my platform. I really appreciate it.
Of course, whenever you do tell me, we
Yeah,
can do live streams. You can go to my channel and we talk about
yeah,
CONCACAF because I mean it's amazing. Of course, we're gonna see each other again versus
yeah.
Honduras versus
Yes, yes, yes,
Guatemala.
yes,
I'm
definitely.
more than welcome to collaborate with you, man.
Yes, yes, so yes, thanks for coming through again. I really appreciate it. It's 12:30, I know it's 12:30 your time now up there north in New Jersey. So yeah, welcome and thanks, I really appreciate it. You know,
Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much.
yes,
Thank you.
we get in touch.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.